n8n's MCP connection now supports creating and editing workflows. A couple weeks ago, I asked some of the engineers working on this MCP how well it works, and everyone's response was the same. I haven't manually built a workflow in weeks. I was skeptical, but after testing, they were right. With the tools they built into this new MCP, this is in a completely different league than just asking Claude to generate workflow JSON. The team wrote a whole new workflow syntax and SDK specifically optimized for LLMs to work with it. It's able to verify schemas, create data tables, pin data, test workflows. It's really powerful. And best of all, you don't need to manually copy and paste JSON anymore. It just goes right into your instance. In this video, I'll show you how to set this up yourself. It works on all n8n plans, including the free community edition. You just need to be on version 2.18.1 or higher. So far in testing, it seems like Claude Code with Opus is really the best performer when using this MCP for creating and planning out workflows. And that's great because we are an official connector in Claude, so it is really easy to set up. In Claude Desktop, just click on the Customize tab on the left, and then click on Connectors. You can also find this in the settings page if Anthropic decides to move it around again. And then in the connector list, you can search for n8n and click the plus button. Now it asks for your server URL, which is located in n8n settings. In your n8n, click the settings cog on the very bottom left, then go to instance level MCP. Enable it if it isn't already, then copy the server URL from the connection details, paste, click connect, authorize inside of Claude and accept the redirect back, and then you're connected. As easy as that. At this point, you're ready to go and can start to use it, but I like to go in and configure all the read-only tools to be auto-approved. You can do the same for write tools as well if you want, but I prefer to have more say on the creation and deleting. Now if we go back to the regular chat, we can ask Claude to make a workflow to test it. And just like that, we have Claude making workflows for us. But if your Claude plan has access to Claude Code, like I said earlier, I really suggest using that instead. You can get to it using this button in the desktop app. If you aren't familiar with the way coding agents work, it's essentially where you give your agent a folder on your computer to work in, and it's able to access everything in that folder. So I'll make one called n8n developer. In Claude Code, you put the system prompt into a file called claude.md, and other agents do the same thing, but the file is called agents.md. And we can be extra lazy and just ask the agent to make the system prompt for us in that file with some of our preferences. And remember, this is just a text file in your file system that the agent uses as its system prompt. This will be a good baseline to get you started if you want to copy it. And you can, of course, expand it as you need and put in your own preferences. And of course, it's not only Claude Code that works with us. Our MCP connects to any of the coding agents that lets you connect to MCPs, which is pretty much all of them. I particularly like OpenCode, which, like n8n, is model agnostic, meaning you can use any model you want. Since coding agents can edit files on your computer, which is where the configuration needs to happen if there isn't an official button like in Claude, we can actually just ask the agent to set itself up. So in the description of this video, I put a prompt where you can just copy and paste into any coding agent like OpenCode that supports custom MCPs. Then it will ask for the config. So we just go back to that same page we got the URL from and copy the configuration JSON and paste it into OpenCode. And we'll also tell it that it's OpenCode. And now we need to add our token. Since it needs to be kept safe, we'll use this command to add it. Paste this in your terminal, and then when it prompts you, we'll copy the access token from the n8n settings page again and paste it into the terminal prompt. It's okay that you don't see it, that's normal. Just press enter and it should add it into that configuration file, replacing the placeholder. Then we'll restart the agent and test it. And now that works, so you're good to go and start creating. And a reminder that this will work with any coding agent that speaks MCP, so it's not just exclusive to Claude and OpenCode. If you follow the steps in this video and are still having trouble, or if you have any feedback in general, there's a link in the description to a forum thread that we'll be watching really closely. I promise if you post it there, I will see it, and a lot of other people from the team will see it as well. This was just a quick getting started video. In a couple of weeks, I'll be back to do another video actually building something real with this, which I'm really excited for. So if you have any ideas or run into limitations, please let us know and I will address it in the next video. I'll see you there.